Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and no need to adjust your television sets. The hair you see in front of you is the hair of the Chaz, and this is monumental. In so many ways. Um, First of all, we are live in the Knoxville campground. Now, I don't know anybody out there in the world right now, or in this campground right now, that could literally live stream at the rate we are live streaming. And I'll tell you what, the only way we are able to live stream. In fact, let me pull them up. Is our sponsor. You see them actually at the top of the screen from time to time. Let me see if I can find it. We'll put it up here. DoneRightTV. You see that at the top left of your screen. We are live due to their at-home 5G internet tower, which in this case, and in many cases, as we are live in the camper, people are going to be coming in and out. We're partying it up. Look at the hair. Look at the hair. Look at that. That is so damn nice. But we are only able to be live here in Knoxville, in the campgrounds, full-blown speed, because of the DoneRightTV internet that Andrea, who just walked in, was like, well, I don't know. We'll work at Knoxville at the Nashville. Blah, 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 blah. Here she is right here. Yep, look at her, just putting stuff away. And yes, it is possible. This was a big test. I had the test at Eldora. We were live at Eldora, and it passed all the tests. But the real test is here in Knoxville. Because how many damn campers are here, Andrea? It's bad here. People can't even load their Facebooks. But we're able to be live, and I got it connected to my phone. I got it they got it, or Darren, I believe, has it connected to his phone. She's gonna have it connected to her phone eventually. And we're live right now. I just can't believe this. So DoneRightTV, in the description, you'll see it. At home and mobile internet. Do you need the password or what? Coffee? Yeah, sure. It's freshly ground coffee. We grind it up with our own hands and teeth. But anyway. Done right in the description. If you look it up, call Kelly. Say that Chaz sent you. And he'll hook you up, because it is an at-home. Basically, it's a personal 5G tower. Basically, look at it like that, kind of. And it's meant to be at home, but Kelly can do some jerry-rigging situations and make it to where you can have it at the Knoxville and any of these campgrounds across America. Some campgrounds are a little worse than others, but it seems like most of the time you can be... Darren, we're live. Full-blown live. On the laptop with the DoneRightTV. This is unbelievable. It's working amazing. It's working about as good as this hair. You know what I'm saying?
Then you better not say that, because that hair ain't working.
Oh my God, come on now. I don't know why you're hating. I got a new shirt in. I don't know even what it says. Diesel Doom. That sounds bad. Hopefully this does not happen this week. We're kind of scared. We're going to start talking about special paint schemes.
I have no idea
What is he? I'm ruining people's social life here in the morning areas of the Knoxville Raceway, but we are going to talk about some racing. We are going to eventually talk about it. I just really had to plug the Done Right situation, because I can't believe that we are live. I didn't think it was going to happen. Go ahead and share the video, like the video, comment. I'm seeing everyone live. I'm going to go ahead and share the video across the socials myself, because I have the internet capability to do so. Now, if we come in and out or we get a little choppy, it is still Knoxville. The campgrounds, everyone is awake. There's the signal for this tower is going to struggle at times, just because of the sheer situation that we're dealing with. It's freaking Knoxville campgrounds. Nobody should ever be able to even go live, even with a personal cell phone tower or whatever. So to even be live is incredible. If there is situations where things come up and I have a little bit of a hiccup with the connection. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. But I'm sharing it around right now, sharing it on Twitter, at Long Live the Chaz, sharing it on my LinkedIn as well. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. We're going to be looking at the points from last night. We're also going to be looking at the points and the cutoffs for last year's event. So the points that you'll see, we're going to compare to what you actually needed to make the A main last year. And that's a big deal. What you needed to make the race with last year versus this year, and we just lost all of our lights. Let me see if I could turn some on. Or maybe we can open the window, brighten it up. There we go. There we go. I think that works. Anyway, let's just look at these lineups and stuff. I can't share to Facebook. Of course, Facebook hates the Chaz, always has. 20,000 followers gone. 3 years of hard work, and they just took it straight from me. Freaking Facebook, not Knoxville. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. But anyways, let's look at the points from last night. And obviously, special paint schemes played a factor. So, Damon Shoults picks up the win, obviously, and he's going to be your high point man from night number 1, 479. Some notables that really didn't perform like people thought they were. Obviously, you look here at the back half of the field, you know, a guy like Matt Covington, Aaron Reitzel pops off the board with a 333 number, 40th in points. His Knoxville Nationals is done. Parker Price Miller sitting in 33rd. Your Knoxville Nationals is done. Zeb Wise sitting 28 at 381. Your Knoxville Nationals is done, unfortunately, for some of these guys. Justin Sanders sitting at 25. I mean, this is unfortunate for him. Unfortunate run. I was really pulling for him, but this does not look good. I'm not going to say done, but this is where things get to that your Knoxville Nationals is done level. I mean, these people back here are hoping to make the race. If any one of them wins it, this is really history in the making. This isn't 1978 or 80 or whatever. You can't just make up this kind of ground anymore. The cars are too close together. The racing is just too close as well. You're not going to make up this ground in 2023. Riley Goodnow, this is, like I said, in the chances to make the A-Main. I think none of these people have a chance to win the race. As somebody from South America just sends me something about Reimer racing in ARCA. I don't care about people racing ARCA. Jake Buback, David Gravel, obviously was one of the biggest shockers of the night outside of Aaron Reitzel. He obviously tried to continue racing. Didn't point well. 403 on the docket for David Gravel. That's really not a good spot to be for David. Back there with Cole Macedo, Brady Bacon. Brett Marks, 412. We're getting somewhere kind of near to maybe making the race without so much of a hassle. And here's where it gets interesting. You got Scott Boguski, Brendan Wimmer, who was in the best-looking race car of all the paint schemes, the 7TW Gold Eagle car. Jamie Ball, who did not make the A-Main, but qualifying and everything is so important. That's just the insane part. If you qualify, if you go out there and lay down 2 damn laps that are really good, you almost have a shot to make the A-Main. I mean, David Gravel didn't even make the A last night. He's sitting at 403 with, 21st there. And that's all based on his qualifying laps, pretty much. He didn't do nothing in the heat race, obviously. And then everything else that occurred. So, C-Main, B-Main. But you get up here, Jamie Ball, Blake Hahn, who led a lot of laps. Cy Lynch, who was up in there just a little bit. And this is where Sheldon Hodenschild, who finished 3rd, is he going to make it? Is he going to make it? So you see these points. This was technically a kind of a low point night for night number 1. And we're going to look at last year's points to kind of give you an idea of where some of this stuff lays out. You got Dustin Salvage with 435, Tasker Phillips 437, Casey Kane 446, James McFadden 447, and the crazy one of them all, Justin Peck, wrecking all. Amazing qualifying lap though. Finished 2nd in his heat from the 8th starting spot. He's sitting 7th in points right now, even after flipping across the racetrack like he did. That car was destroyed. Talk to Justin. He's okay. Talk to the crew. They are not. Nobody's okay with what happened last night. Not even Justin himself. But he's sitting there tied with Chase Randall, who was on the podium. And that is only because of that qualifying and that heat performance. And the qualifying more than that, you know. Chase Randall, good job, made it up in the A main. He's sitting in the 6th spot. Corey Day, 5th. Gio Selzy, 4th. Kerry Madsen, really solid run in 3rd. And Hunter Schoenberg, really solid all night long as well. Qualifying, of course. Heat race, of course. Good run in the main. 462. And then Donnie Schatz, of course, 479. So we look at these numbers right here, and where does it actually matter? It's all about making the Saturday night A main event. When I see some people crying about the heat race and the inverts, and it's like, just calm down, you know. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out because points are what matters here. So your high dollar money people who, you know, you're worried about actually, you know, getting up front and your normal outlaw type style qualifying format, it's very similar as far as the result department is concerned. So this was the points from last year, and this is how it shook up after the 2 nights were completed. Austin McCarl was the high point man last year with the 477 mark. You had Tyler Courtney, 473, Donnie Schatz, 469, Gravel, the list goes on. Jacob Allen at 11th, 457. Who people commenting on the Jacob Allen deal, I just think, you know, you don't have a life. I think if you sit down and thought real hard and long about being a sprint car driver to the World Outlaw Tour, you ain't got a life. And some people don't want to make that trade. They don't want to close their eyes one day, wake up 60 years old, and the only thing they've done is race cars in circles. That's what I think is going on there. But the cutoff number to get into the A main last year was 447. So 447 was the cutoff last year, and that puts James McFadden in the show. So McFadden, Peck, Randall, Day, Selzy, Madsen, Schoenberg, and Schatz would be your transferred drivers into the show as we sit with points based on last year's cutoff marks, which this mark does fluctuate each year. You see the B mains, how they were locked out. 431 was the B main. So all the way back to 431 was the B main. People below that are not even in the B. So you look at this cutoff mark right here. 431 cuts off Blake Hahn, who was leading laps last night. You're in the C based on last night's standings. We take a look at somebody like a David Gravel, who's at 403. Based on last year's points, a 403 has got you in the middle of the C main. Or going to the Hard Knocks night, which I do think that David Gravel and Aaron Reitzel are going to do. Friday definitely just got very interesting. So this is how it all lined up last year. So 431 for the B main, 447 for the A. And based on last night's points, that's what we are looking at here. So 447 and up. Casey came first one out. And that's just based on last year's points, though. You got a really close point battle right there. 437, 35, 34, 34, 29. Those 5 drivers right there, very, very close. So it's going to be interesting. But I would say, and no disrespect, but it did seem like last night was a bit of the softer night. Especially when we tune over here to the entry list for Thursday's event. So, you bring this up, and there are some big hitters running tonight. Logan Schuchart, looking stout, especially stout this year, the $1 million man in tonight's event. Brock Zierfoss, Spencer Baston, who has been very impressive here recently. Dylan Cisney, you never know on these big tracks. You never know. Ryan Timms making his rookie debut today. Darren Pittman Bill Rose, Clint Gardner in a decent car. Garrett Williamson in a new race car. That's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a 6G machine. Look at the second row. It gets even deeper. Anthony Macri, Cap Henry in the 10 machine. Corey Eliason in the 11. Ayrton Geniton, who's ran well this year. Sam Havertz Jr., who's been good at Knoxville in the past. Jamie Ville. Colby Copeland, who was extremely strong in the 360 Nationals. Shane Golobic, you never know. Tanner Holmes, been very impressive in the Midwest this year. Brian Brown, obviously. People, these are race-winning contenders. I would say if you had a betting line out right now, Schuhart, Brian Brown, and then a couple of names down, Rico Abreu, they're in your list to potentially win. And we ain't even done. We ain't even got to the third list yet. I don't know why that guy's so infatuated with Taylor Reimer. I don't care about midget racing. Let me just say this. I know Extreme's doing their East swing or whatever. Midget racing, in my opinion, you're just throwing money out the window. Unless some Toyota is actually going to sign you and give you a bunch of money to go to NASCAR or whatever, you're getting no respect in the dirt racing world. No respect. So anybody out there renting midgets, you think you're doing something special, going to impress somebody, just get the fuck out of them cars. That goes for Raymer. That goes for all of y'all. If y'all are just doing it for fun and your little bitty click fun little buddy deal, okay, have fun. Just go spend your money and click up with everybody. But I think you're wasting your time getting into real race cars like wing sprint cars. Nobody's going to race midgets or non-wing sprint cars because you can't make money racing them. No one's aspiring to go there. The competition is low because of the money that's involved. Nobody's going to Indiana to race against the non-wing or midget people because there's no money to be made. You're beating up against the rich, privileged, segregated, no one wants to race there people. And that's how I see it. You're against nobodies. You are in the elementary of the dirt racing world. Graduate, please. Anyway. That's just what I think. I know there's some arguments against it, but that's just what I think. In this last row, Carson Macedo, another race-winning contender. Brad Sweet in there. Kyle Larson. Buddy Kofoid. Caleb Henry's an interesting name. He's going to be in the 101 car, and that's the guy we helped bring out to the Midwest. Had some bad luck with the car owner, but he's going to be in the 101 car tonight. R.J. Johnson, that's the fielder. So we got a lot of hitters right here. There's a lot of hitters on your screen. I mean, Buddy Kofoid, could he shock? I mean, yeah, he could. I mean, Brad Sweet, could he win it? Obviously. I mean, Kyle Larson, could he win it? No way possible. Right, Darren? Carson Macedo, can't win it. Rico Abreu, no way. I think, though, this year, ladies and gentlemen, it is Brian Brown's time to win. We got a real big Brian Brown hater in the building. He hates Brian Brown, hates his merchandise. He literally bought his shirt last night just to throw it into the fire. I watched him do it. He bought his shirt last night and threw it in the fire with the free Brian Brown koozie that they gave him. No respect. But anyways, this is your lineup for tonight. And the points are where the points are at right now. So, I mean, I think this is going to move a lot. Now, the one thing that these people have from Wednesday with their point totals on their side, even though I still say tonight's race is more stacked with names, but it could be too stacked with names at the same time. I mean, there are so many good drivers and car combos. I mean, I didn't mention about the Wyndhams or the Ian Matsons or the Sawyer Phillips or the Dusty Zomers, the Tim Kadings that's here tonight. You know, the Darren Pitt, the Bill, even Bill Rose, you know, just saying. I mean, Caleb Johnson's, a Trent Pigden. I mean, the name Bill Baylock is here. I mean, there is a very strong field running tonight. And you also have a lot of hitters with Schuhart, Brown, Rico. I mean, this last row right here just was Sweet, Macedo, Larson, Kofoid. I mean, even Shane Stewart. I mean, Shane Stewart has a history of going good here. I mean, he was the original badass of the 57 car at Knoxville. Let's not forget that. Shane Stewart was the original badass of the 57 Paul Silva machine. I don't think it was the Rockstar car, but anyway, he was the original badass. And that's kind of where I wanted to talk about special paint schemes, because Carson Macedo's car, he came out with the flame car, and I was talking to Phil last night. We're going to talk a little bit tonight. I was like, so hold on. Did you do that flame car for sarcasm? Like, because he was caught on fire? He's like, well, yeah. A couple of days ago, we were coming to the track, and we didn't really have a paint scheme. And I'm like, let's just do one. And then they thought of the flame paint scheme. So that was an off-the-fly paint scheme. Seemed like it was cool. Well, couldn't have been a couple of days ago, unless outlaw drivers can really turn shirts around that fast. But it sounds like this was a really wing it type of a situation, to where Carson Macedo has this flame car, and he obviously was caught on flames a couple weeks ago. I think Brad Sweet's car is very beautiful. That was the announcement for Caleb Henry. I do think this Brad Sweet vehicle is nice. I like the reverse colors. I think that they did a really good job on that car. This is a Facebook post going around of the 49 machine of Brad Sweet. I think that's one of the best looking cars. I heard a lot of comments, people saying the Durst logo destroys the scheme. I mean, I don't know if I can disagree with that. I mean, that little orange logo just popped out in the middle of nowhere for whatever reason, where everything else is kind of color coordinated, even some of the other contingencies. That does kind of take away from the scheme. I will agree with that. But this is one of the paint schemes that is happening tonight. Obviously, you have the probably the most beautiful paint scheme is the Corey Eliason car, the 11, the Mobile One machine. But this is the special paint scheme for Kyle Larson, the 20-year anniversary Silva special car. Now, the only issue with this Silva car is that they did do a t-shirt for this car. Now, for some reason, someone who raced the car and won in it, or somebody who didn't really race the car a lot, like Gio Selzy, I think it was 4 or 5 times, his name is on that 20th anniversary shirt. But somebody like Justin Sanders, who basically sweeped a week at one point, I think, driving the 57 car on the West Coast, even though it was like the team car, the 57W car, I mean, it was still a car. Sanders' name, with Paul Silva wrenching it, Sanders' name's not on that t-shirt. Don't understand what that all is about. But back to this 57 car, Kyle Larson does not have good luck, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to special paint schemes, especially in this 57 car. Need I remind you, for those who have short-term memory loss, the GOAT of all GOATs in 2019 went to California Speed Week against regional competition and could barely keep up, running 7th, 6th, 4th. And in 2019, he won some races, but then at the same time, he had a situation with this car at the Knoxville Nationals. The beautiful McDonald's scheme, the obesity machine, known as Kyle Larson in the 57 car. And this car right here, and at the Knoxville Nationals in 2019, was possibly the worst racing week in Kyle Larson's professional racing career. And maybe because it's black. You know, black and white does have a lot of mythology behind it. Some people need to go look into how the world actually operates. But white and black, especially you put some red and yellow. Hello, fellow, you know what I'm talking about? The snake, those snake rhyme. Red on black, stay back, Jack. You know what I'm talking about? But Kyle Larson has not had good luck with special paint schemes, and this one in particular at the Knoxville National, same scenario in 2019, didn't even make it out of the first day. Headlines across the news on NBC in 2019, as he didn't even qualify for the A main event and would have had to run the Friday Hard Knocks. It goes into talk about, you know, he was sitting, I believe, 20-something in overall points. And from my understanding, post-race, at the Knoxville Nationals in 2019, this wrap and scheme was being torn off of the vehicle after the race, and their week was over. And their week was over. It was completed. But that was also potentially a part of the grand scheme of things, because that was also the year that I predicted 4 months in advance, or three or four, one of the two, that David Gravel and the Exalted Jeff Gordon scheme was going to win. Do you remember that, Andrea? Yeah, 4 months in advance, sweep the week, Illuminati. I am a narcissist, actually. That's what they tell me. But that is the same year that David Gravel won in the Exalta Fixes In machine. So there was more so to that, possibly. Maybe that was orders from the hierarchy of the world that said, you can't mess this up, Kyle. We need you to run bad and not show up Saturday because this scheme is here. Now, thinking of all this, we look at the points overall from 2019, and we see how that cutoff is 447. We also see how there's only 8 cars right now in that 447 range. Obviously, if everybody plays nice, you got another 8 cars that locks in the top 16 for tonight from tonight's racing action. But I'm telling you right now, this lineup here is not simple. There are a lot of good cars. There are more than 8 cars that are. There's 4. There's legitimately 5. There's legitimately 5 favorites for the Knoxville Nationals right here. Literally, there are 5. Brian Brown, Rico Abreu, Carson Macedo, Brad Sweet, Kyle Larson. These are those. I don't think I'm slipping there. If this was odds, these are the guys on the higher end of the betting odds. I just see that as a fact. Last night you had Gravel, you had Reitzel. I mean, you had a few that people were like, yeah, shots, but you didn't have what you got tonight. You didn't have the depth. This is Knoxville depth tonight. And someone like a Rico and a Larson on the same. This is basically, and Brad Sweet, this is basically the high limit night. They should have just. High Limit Sprint Car Series should have sponsored this race, this night. It should be the High Limit Sprint Car Series night at Knoxville or something, because you got the hitters. Brown, who was very supportive of it. He didn't make it out to PA, but Rico, Larson, and then the runner, Brad Sweet. They're making that thing hump and run on that combo, basically. But anyways, it's going to be interesting. I don't know who to pick. Who do I really, really think? Well, I kind of feel like, because of all these things, the bad jujus with Larson and the paint scheme, and the ironic paint scheme by Carson Macedo to have a flamed car after he caught on flames, I think that there is something to that. I think that is a sign. I think that even though Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson have little stars next to their name, that doesn't matter as much as that paint scheme on the 41 car. So I'm thinking Carson Macedo's gonna do something special. That's what I think. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Hold on, let's see who will be the blood sacrifice this weekend. Oh my God. I do not know how to really answer that. I think if I just said that right now, I might have just lost a bunch of viewership. Hey, Chaz, are you still reporting on location? I don't know. I had a microphone. It sucks. It just sucks. I do have some interviews. I have some stuff I plan on editing up and getting out today, hopefully. I'm going to try to edit that as fast as possible. It's real good. From last night, we have a couple interviews, one with Hunter Schoenberg. We actually have an interview with Ryan Newman. Didn't see that coming. Interview with Hunter Schoenberg, Ryan Newman. We got some things in the works with Phil Dietz and some other people We also have something with the chicken situation, of course, tonight. After the races beginning at midnight, behind the stands in turn 4, you have your big chicken cook. And I think we'll be hanging around there and potentially doing some filming around that. You know who has the best paint schemes late models at Florence? This is somebody who is left out. He feels left out. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you didn't watch the beginning of this, we have been going for about an hour, I think. What's the time on this? Oh, actually, only 30 minutes. Only 30 minutes. So we're going to end this, rewatch it. Also, be sure to remember, we are live in the Knoxville Nationals campground right now. We are live in the Knoxville Nationals campground, and it is because of DoneRight. DoneRightTV has provided a wireless cell phone tower that is meant for at home. But if you look at the comment or in the description of this video, you'll see DoneRight. You'll see a number that will call Kelly, who is the owner-operator of DoneRightTV, and you tell him you want what the Chaz has. The Chaz is live at Knoxville on his laptop. I can't even load my Facebook. How is he live? Help me. I want to go to these different racing events with my camper and have internet and be able to work on the road or use this at home. You're telling me I don't even need to have at-home internet? I don't need internet at home? I can literally just have this at home, and when I leave, I just take it with me and go wherever I want? The answer is yes. This live video right now is proof of that. Call DoneRightTV. The number is in the description. Talk to Kelly. Say the Chaz sent you. Say you want exactly what the Chaz has. Because this is unbelievable. I was able to do it at Eldora, but this is next level. Off the laptop, full-blown live interaction. This is insane. Hopefully, Rob Kennedy, or whatever his name is wrong about the 5G radiation, and I'm not killing everyone. But it's worth going live. Hey, it's worth it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, happy living in the microwave with all of our 5G phones. And thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment below. As always, be sure to subscribe, and we will catch you